Hello and welcome to another MCO market update on BTC. Here on the Bitcoin chart, we are on the daily time frame, and you can see that we are currently tracking here a pullback still in a potential wave 4 correction. Don't want to spend too much time here on the daily chart, but I have slightly refined and adjusted the resistance zone we discussed in the previous videos. Why did I do that? Well, first of all, the price did drop a bit lower, so I adjusted slightly, but also I've added the upper resistances because B waves, that was the dog, because B waves can sometimes, in case you heard him yawn, B waves can sometimes overshoot, and that we just need to be prepared for that, right? I get a lot of questions about these B waves and everything. In practice, it will be difficult to determine really the difference between if it's a high B wave or if it's a wave 5 that's unfolding. Obviously, at the moment, the pullback is still unfolding. The correction is still unfolding. And we are still tracking potentially an A wave down or a wave 4 down. This is still, this is still what we're tracking at the moment. We don't know the difference at this stage. I told you my preference, which would be for another high to form, possibly in the $130,000 area, in one more high, the fifth wave. And the current move down is basically a fourth wave. And that's the thesis, right? But only as long as the 69K level is holding. I mean, overall, honestly, the structure here hasn't changed on the daily chart. Hasn't changed since November. Also, the message hasn't changed. In November, I highlighted the bull market top could have formed. Only a potential, okay? I'll try to warn everybody, but obviously until support breaks, we don't know. Even then we don't know. It's just that probabilities will increase, the 69K. But that was the thesis, right? That a top could have formed already, that a top would likely form in Q1. Now, again, I'm not really a fan of trying to predict time or something, but there was another high in Q1. But it did not reach the 130K level. And I would therefore still think it's ideal to get there, either in the fifth wave or to get close with that B wave. So that message hasn't changed. Also the message that I still prefer another high. So that message hasn't changed. And the support zone here as well hasn't changed. So for the last few months, analysis has stayed consistent. Sometimes people complain that it's always the same. And yeah, I mean, people complain when the analysis changes all the time, and people complain when it stays the same. I don't know. But I think it's good to be consistent. I haven't changed this wave count for a very, very long time. This is all still covered by both scenarios. Now, I'm not talking about the nanostructure here on the 1 hour chart or 30-minute chart. Of course, this needs to be adjusted frequently. It's fragile and everything. But it's about understanding the main structure. And once we get a rally and a breakout above initial resistance, which we're tracking on the nano level every single day, well, then we can shift the focus to these resistance levels between 94,250 and 126K. So it will be difficult in practice to determine really the difference between the red and the white scenarios. So let's take a look at the shorter time frame for BTC. Shorter time frame for Bitcoin is allowing still for another low. I mean, mentioned over the last few days that I would prefer a wider wave 4 to play out. I mean, that's still my view. I don't see any need to adjust that view at the moment. We have not had a decisive break to the downside to new lows. Eventually, I think this is still the most likely path, right? I mean, that's the thesis, to get another low. Don't have to. You have to take into account the bigger picture that we're very close to a low. Okay, so if it turns around early, I mean, they sometimes do that. But there is nothing at the moment that would confirm that we're turning around already. Rather, the price has rallied from the Monday low only in 3 waves to the upside. And we're basically just ranging right now. And we have not formed a lower low yet. And the move down, in my opinion, still appears to be a 3-wave move. Okay, so we had 3 waves up and then A, B, C to the downside in 3 waves as well. So it might just be that this here was a B wave of 4. And actually, if it's a deep B wave, it kind of allows for that wave 4 still, right? That wide wave 4 in white color here, because then the C wave has enough space to extend without breaking decisively above resistance. So the resistance level is still here, $81,282. And then from there, we could get another low. So A, B, C in wave 4, and then a fifth wave to the downside would still be an ideal pathway. Yeah. So that is what I am tracking here at the moment. What I'm tracking in parallel is something like a triangle pattern, maybe. Okay, that something unfolds like A, B, C, D, E, and then from there we go down. That's a possibility. In case we now form a clearly lower high and a higher low, then this might be the pathway it chooses. But this is all covered by the same scenario. I mean, the one scenario which suggests one more low, right? It's just a couple of pathways how the market could obviously get there. Either quite directly, which would be via a wider wave 4 in an ABC structure, as shown here in white, or maybe even a triangle, which we can add to the chart in the coming days, should the market move sideways for a bit. So yeah, that's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.